Welcome back to I Was Just Thinking. We appreciate you tuning in for another episode. We're continuing on with our story. I'm Niecy, this is Jackie, and I have my sister Bonnie. As you can tell in every episode, she's always moving about. Maybe we'll get her to sit down and join us here soon. We'll see. Alright, well, but I won't interfere because she's making us a lovely dinner. And I appreciate her for that.
We do.
So we've been just kind of doing a series of talking about our family and our family's journey. And when we last met, we were kind of talking about, I was just born. We were living in T.B. Watkins still. Things were going along pretty well. Mom and dad are out working, still a very young couple. And mom had decided to, that she wanted a change of scenery as living close to all my father's family and just all the different characters in the neighborhood got to be a bit much, and I could certainly relate because I've been in that environment. We'll talk about that later. But we are moving out into a house, and so we were kind of picking up from there. You were talking about how daddy didn't want to ride with you with the realtor and things like that. And then once you found the house, I guess it was on 50th Terrace, he got really excited and he liked that house. It was a California style house.
That's what they said, they called it a California theme. And it was really a cute little house. It really was. It had these cork walls. And
cork walls?
Cork walls, and it had some eclectic looking wallpaper in some parts, and this kitchen that had to pull out pantry drawers. I mean, it was so different.
It was modern
very
for
modern.
that time.
Oh,
so
gosh.
This was like in 1970 or the very early 70s?
Yes, very much. Yeah, 70.
All right.
We moved there. Loved it.
Did you guys fix it up with nice furniture?
Yes, we
was
did.
Was it all decked out?
Yes, we had. In fact, we had bought a stereo at the time, and it's sitting, back then stereos were kind of big, about as big as a coffee table, but it was standing on legs, Well, your daddy had this ingenious idea to put it up on the wall.
Oh!
The stereo was up on the wall. I don't know if you remember this or not,
but
we had it up on the wall.
Oh, yeah. And it had kind of orangey looking speaker things.
Yes.
I don't know, see? I don't know why. I remember stuff like that.
Up on the wall,
I remember that.
It was quite fancy. It was had a big kitchen, huge kitchen, had a big basement, big backyard, had a swing set for y'all out there. Front porch, we had it was a little small front porch, but it was glassed in, like where you could sit out there and have plants.
Oh, I had a screen in front porch?
Yes.
Oh.
It was small.
Yeah.
Front porch, but it was nice. A nice front yard.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't but about 5 houses on the whole block.
Mm.
And they were separated with distance. I mean, they wasn't right on top of each other. And the couple that lived next door to us, she was deaf. Her husband wasn't, but she was, and but she was sweet. She worked at Dairy Queen.
Oh, man, I remember her. Ice cream board, dilly board.
Why do I remember?
See, you remember those? See?
Okay, so I'm going to pause here and say, okay, so mom's been telling this story, so now Bonnie's starting to get into her memory, and she's gotten a little bit older. She's a couple of years older than me, so she remembers a lot about the house. I only have very sporadic memories, but I remember the dilly bar.
All the time. We used to go up to the fence. Do you remember going up to the fence?
Yeah.
At the house and
the
stuff, getting the ice cream from her.
Yeah, I only have so many very small memories, but I remember that. Yeah. Okay. And she was deaf?
Yes.
Wow.
So we didn't even know how to talk to her, probably. We just kept talking because we didn't know.
She just nodded.
We didn't know no difference.
Right.
We wouldn't know.
That's how interesting.
She was a sweetheart. Her husband you know, he could hear and stuff, and
Yeah.
he talked to us and stuff. So, yeah, we had, the store was right down the street, Thriftway. Yeah, right there. My friend Sam,
You that side of friend?
Jesse. I had a friend. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking that lived not far from us. So that was another good point. You know, I was leaving one thing, but getting to another.
Get some new.
Oh, yeah, you had someone near.
I was working for the daycare program then. I started off and I went into training up at this place where I said I got my GED. It was 30-30 Prospect, they called it. And it was a program for that. And then I graduated from that and they sent me to this program with the daycare center when they first opened up. I can't think of the name of it right now. But anyway, I started off at St. Mark's, the secretary opening their daycare center. And then they transferred me over to 25th and Jackson when that daycare, it was one of the larger daycare centers.
Now, is that when you met Miss Mack?
Yes.
On Jackson?
Because I remember that daycare.
Yes.
I remember that daycare.
You remember daycare on
I
25th
remember-
and
I used
Jackson?
to take you out to the daycare.
Yeah.
sometimes.
I don't remember the
I
daycare.
remember that daycare. And it was like a playground. It was blacktop playground. I'm a very visual person, but I remember it's this blacktop playground. We used to go outside and play. And the building looked like an old school.
Yes, it did.
And it just, I remember playing outside and it was time to go in and you go up and it looked like this old building. I can't remember nothing about the inside, but I remember playing outside.
Yeah, going into the old
And
building.
going to the school looking building.
Okay.
And then the cafeteria was downstairs, and that's where
Yeah.
like the younger kids stayed down there.
Niecy and she was smaller then.
I was toddling along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd be in the secretary didn't mean that you didn't have to go down there because the cook wasn't available. You had to go down there and help.
You had to do anything,
Sometimes
everything.
you had to be a teacher in the classroom.
Other duties as assigned.
And then sometimes the executive director would call me and Jackie, I need you up here at the main office because so-and-so's not here today and I need you to take over. So I'd have to leave to go up there. So yeah. But yeah, we
Did you have a car and all that by this time? Did you and Daddy?
We did, and I can't tell you what kind it was.
All right, y'all had a vehicle. You could
Yeah,
move
we had a
around.
vehicle.
So they, you know, when you think about them being that young of a
20,
couple,
21. They 21, 20.
21 years
22,
old,
yeah.
21, 22, you guys, to me, had it going on.
I'm telling
You
you.
know, for
We
that
did. We
time.
thought so too.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
they got their house, they got a
Yeah.
little ride,
Two
they got two
kids.
kids, they
Yeah.
both working.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, we did. We
so-
lived pretty well. What I remember, I had a lot of fun. I don't remember
stress.
any stress then.
Yeah.
Ever. I don't. I except, you know, when we would go outside and play, we had a dog, a German Shepherd, who would bark at us sometimes. I don't know why he would bark at us. He was our dog, but he would bark at us. And he would chase me and you up the slide, and we be running literally. You know how you were a kid and you running up the slide,
Trying
trying
to
to hold on to
Yeah,
it, or
yeah.
getting on the monkey bar thing to
He
climb
probably
up the
was just
stairs.
playing with us.
He probably was. I don't know if he was or not, but he scared the crap out of us all the time.
Yeah.
We was always running from him and stuff. But I think we also like threw rocks at him and teased him and stuff like that.
yeah.
So we wasn't always that nice and stuff. But yeah, but it was just these.
So we had a swing set out.
Yeah, we did. It was a nice backyard.
It
Yeah, I
was
remember.
big and nice.
Yeah, I remember deck. I remember a deck and everything.
Yeah.
All that too.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like a nice house.
Yeah.
So mom and them were getting that groove on. So
Oh,
you know, they young couple enjoying themselves, living life to the fullest, having parties and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
We threw one
It was
big
the
party.
70s.
It was
That's all I can say.
We threw a big party for your dad's birthday.
And he's Scorpio, so you know
Yeah,
he
no
loved
way.
his birthday. He
Yes,
loved
he
his
did.
birthday.
And I remember we had to prepare so much because we had these black lights that we was putting up all over the house. So we kept turning off the lights in the house so that we could see the linen, the carpet and stuff, so we could vacuum it up before anybody, I mean.
It had to be spotless, right?
I had to know how you show it up. Yeah.
Yes, and then, we had this big party. And the problem got to be that people kept calling and saying, oh, my cousin's over, can they come to the party? Sure, we don't mind. Okay, my friend so-and-so, so they want to know if they could come. Sure, everybody's well. And it was a great party. We had a ball. We
live.
Just live,
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, they say lit now. Back then, it was live.
Yeah. We were having, we had a guy in the kitchen, at a kitchen table rolling weed. You know? We had drinks for everybody.
Yeah. Did y'all have a disco ball? It seemed like it should have been a disco ball.
Now we had the strobe light, but we had the black lights. We had a flashing light. We didn't have a disco ball, but we had the flashing lights. With those psychedelic lights.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We had it was.
And I remember our house being pretty nice too. I remember these like lamps Mama had. And so you see that lamp, and she used to have these lamps with these little teardrop.
Oh.
You remember them? Can you visually remember those? She used to have these little lamps. I mean, so I remember our house being very nice.
It had ashtrays to match.
Yeah, the stand stood on stands.
That had the teardrop things on them.
I remember those.
It was nice. I had a beautiful house. I loved it. I truly loved it. And about 2 weeks after that party, which was close to Thanksgiving, so I'm getting ready to go I went to get our dinner for Thanksgiving and came home, excuse me, and Tiny the dog stayed on that front porch. Tiny was nowhere to be found. So I was like, how'd he get out? Where is he at? Right. You know, so I come in, I open the door to the house, and they had ripped us off. Took all kind of stuff, tore up the house, like opened up flour and just threw it all over the house, opened up a can of peas or something, and it was, we figured it was some kids, but we realized that later it was people we didn't know, and probably they came back
to the party.
Yeah.
We're at the party, but weren't y'all's friends.
We didn't know them, that it came back and saw an opportunity, and probably showing off too much and bragging too much.
Y'all did a little bit too much.
Yeah.
That can happen.
Yeah.
And when you're that young, man, you remember Nisi. Yeah. In our 20s and stuff, we used to have to.
Yeah. And you like to show off, especially you're grown.
Yeah.
You got your own stuff. Like, hey, look at me, I'm living. Type thing. Yeah, that was unfortunate. They tore us up.
I was so hurt. And the thing was, this was during the time where I was bringing my mother home for Thanksgiving. Getting her out the hospital, bringing her home for Thanksgiving, and now my house is not even looking like it's supposed to because it's all jacked up. You know? They had went through everything. They pulled the mattresses off the bed. They had went all in y'all's room, my room, and they took a lot of your daddy's clothes out of the closet. They took his clothes out of the dresser. So that's why we figured it was young boys. They stole his clothes. They stole a lot of his clothes.
I remember he was mad because they stole his beer.
My dad was a snazzy dresser always.
Out the refrigerator.
Stole the beer out the refrigerator.
He was so mad about that.
Now let me grasp onto a piece. So aside from that, you said that Grandma was coming for Thanksgiving. Was this during the time, I understand this is during the time where she came to stay with us for a small spell. Was this during that time, or was she staying with us before then? Or?
No, she was still in the hospital.
Okay.
We brought her home for that Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And then we decided to let her stay with us.
Okay.
We were trying to figure out a way for her not to be in the hospital.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep her here with us.
And
it's
your mom, I mean.
Right. And your Grandma Fontella offered to help me take care of her.
Now you're Grandma is.
So we say Grandma Fontella. We got to pause here and kind of loop you in on that piece. So my grandfather, my father's father, his name was Bernie. That's my namesake. Well, I'm named after him. His name is Bernie. They named me Bernice. They thought I was going to be a boy, but it turned out to be a girl. So that's my namesake. After we talked about earlier that he and my grandmother separated many years before, years before when you guys were in TB Watkins. Well, Grandpa Bernie, he remarried to our grandma Fontella.
Right.
So she was our step grandmother, but she was always like a true grandmother to me. Yeah, I mean, she is my true grandmother. She was my
your
grandmother. My grandmother and my godmother. So
Right.
that's what we're talking about, Fontella. So she and Mom developed a relationship, and it sounds like she offered to come in and help take care of your mom when she came home from the hospital.
Right.
Okay.
And stayed with us.
All right. Did I explain that right?
Yes, you did.
All right.
Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, that had to be pretty stressful for you to have your mother know she's in the hospital and want her to be there, and you're trying to make ways to have her around you and all of that. That had to be pretty.
And Nana,
Okay,
had
Nana.
passed.
Okay.
Nana passed in 70 or 71.
Wow.
Uh,
Did Grandma take that pretty hard?
yes. In fact, they were in the hospital at the same time. They were up at St. Joe together.
Okay.
Mom had a stroke, several strokes really. She was paralyzed on her whole right side. So she was in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah, she's young.
Yeah.
She is not that old.
No, she wasn't.
So how old would you guess Grandma was?
She was in her 30s, late 30s probably.
Wow.
And had a stroke.
And while she was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, broke some kind of way her leg got broke. I mean, you think about it, you're like, what is really going on? You couldn't tell because you're not there. You know?
And they wouldn't. That's not like back then. They had to divulge a report. Or
Yeah, they didn't have the
It
controls
just didn't
in
have
place.
the stuff in place back then to do that. So when in that time period, is this the same time period? Did Daddy's mother passed, or is this a different stage?
This is his mother died several years later.
Okay.
Not a lot.
I don't want to rush that. I just wondered if all of that was happening at the
No.
same time.
No.
Okay.
Not then.
Okay.
No.
All right. So that's a lot to go
Yeah.
on in your
I
house.
know it was a
Yeah.
big one, for Nana passed because, she had a big hand in raising
Raising
you.
you.
And then Grandma having these strokes at such a young age and being hospitalized.
So then
And both
I
of them
remember
ended
her
up
living with us long though.
She did.
So you had to send her back somewhere?
I sent her to, we had it was a nursing home over in Independence that your daddy's family, a lot of your daddy's family worked at.
Okay.
So we sent her there because we had looked around, me and my grandfather had looked around in nursing homes trying to find something, because your grandmother said she couldn't keep working. We couldn't afford to pay her
much.
much,
Right.
and the thought of getting a private nurse to come in was something we couldn't even afford. So we had no choice.
But
We both was working. We had 2 kids. We didn't have no way to take care because she was totally paralyzed. She had to have somebody physically there that could lift her, help her bathe, help her go to the bathroom and stuff like that. So.
Did you have support and assistance back then with Medicaid or any services like that? So
No.
you had to pay for your mother to be in a nursing home? Or how did that
We
work?
took the Social Security,
Okay.
any Social Security benefits she would have gotten, they
went
were
to
paid
them.
to the nursing home. Yes.
Got you.
Because they, back
Because I was
then,
just thinking about all the
they take all
financial-
your assets.
Yeah.
And we had to show that she didn't have any assets. So
Okay.
then she was under
eligible to be able to
in there. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So that wasn't the best of nursing
It wasn't
homes.
a bad nursing home.
I remember
It
being
wasn't a
dirty
bad
or
nursing
nothing.
home at all. It was well taken care of, and the
Good.
people were well taken care of. She just didn't like being there. She liked her
Who would?
freedom. Yeah. But
And she was young.
Girl,
Yeah.
you imagine in your 30s.
Oh my gosh.
and couldn't move and couldn't do nothing, you know.
And she was so beautiful.
Mhm.
I remember her
Gorgeous.
just being so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I used to do, you know, and as a kid, you know, you look at your grandparents differently, and you see them, and like I remember her fingers and hands used to be kind of clutched
I
together.
remember that. Yeah.
And you know, and as a child, you just kind of like, what's wrong with grandma's hands? Why is her
Mhm.
hands
And you
like
didn't
that?
understand
And you
it
didn't
all.
understand. I didn't understand about strokes or things like that, and I didn't even comprehend her age.
Right.
At that time, you just these are just your people, your loved ones. You don't
Yeah.
know their age or who they are.
Mhm.
This is my family, and that's
Right.
grandma, and you
Yeah.
know. And I might ask you something like that, but I wouldn't necessarily get it while
Right.
she was in that state.
And I
So now, years later,
I don't remember a whole lot, but I do remember going to the nursing home. I do remember visiting her there, but I don't know if it was during that time while we were on 50th Terrace or if it was later. But I do remember visiting
I remember
her
visiting
at
her
a
there all
nursing
the
home.
time.
She didn't stay with us at 50th Terrace, and then later in life she came and spent weekends with us.
Yeah. One of the things. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, no, baby. I'm just thinking. Go ahead.
One of the things that Bonnie was talking about is that, you know, you remember that they both were there together, even though you were small and just starting to develop your memory. You remember that while we were at that house, Grandma Fontella and
Grandma Louise
were
there together.
Yeah.
I don't remember a whole lot, but I just remember both of them there being
Yeah, they
together.
got to be
And it was
good
like
friends.
about food or something. Like I remember something about tomato soup and grilled cheese or something. Cause Grandma Fontella liked to cook.
Joe
and,
loved to cook.
you know, she would cook food for us and stuff, and she was helping Grandma and stuff with, you know, eating and things like that. So
She'd
it's just
bring her
different
food.
memories that I would have,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just of those experiences, and I don't
She'd
know.
bring us food up. She'd bring
Yeah.
food up there for all of us and for Mama.
Yeah.
You know, to have during the day. And her and Mama got a good friendship. Sometimes it went too far because sometimes they go get drinks. And each one of them should have been drinking. Mama.
Yeah, right. You should have been there.
But yeah, they got to be good friends.
Yeah.
And y'all ended up getting another dog.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember his name now.
Sandy?
Because they had poisoned Tiny, we found out
No.
when they broke into the apartment. But
Yeah.
it was another
Yeah.
little scruffy looking dog. I can't remember now that used to.
I can't remember that either.
Yeah.
I remember the German Shepherd, and I remember running up the side.
Yeah.
There's just little things that I remember about
Yeah.
us.
What I remember is my sister.
Here she goes.
I remember my sister throwing me out the window. She
That-
say she didn't,
I
but
did
she
not.
threw me out the window. I survived, thank God.
Okay.
I
We're
didn't
gonna
break
put it
no
on. We're gonna put it on record here.
Okay.
Okay. So as we go through this story, I want you to pay attention to Vernice
Huh?
and some of her behavior. And then we gonna come back to this story about you in the window, and then we gonna see if you make the connection as to how you probably fell out of that window.
Fell
Because
out
I
the
did
window.
not push her out the window.
She was just standing there looking at me on the ground. That's what
Cause
I
yo-
remember is looking up and seeing Bonnie looking at me out the ground.
We shared a bedroom. Now that is true. We shared a bedroom. Niecy was very adventurous, very
Always.
curious, always. She always go too far. And then she fell out the damn window, and there I was looking down at her on the thing. That's all you
she
can say.
started crying.
And she started crying. And she started crying. Yeah. She went into actress mode when she saw mom.
I said, what happened? She said, she pushed me out of the window.
I didn't cry till you came. I was just laying there.
See? That's Niecy.
I came in.
Who was that? Mama? Oh,
We had many incidents like that.
Yeah, quite a
Sound like I was a card even as a toddler.
So, Mama, after 50th, while we in 50th Terrace, what caused us to move?
Well, our house got broken into a couple of more times.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it was, and right next door to us on one side was just a big vacant lot. And the other people next door to us, like I said, the lady was deaf. So nobody saw anything. I mean, they broke
They
in.
didn't hear, see, nothing.
Nobody saw, hear nothing. Because it was like a wooded
In the back, I remember that.
area in the back, and the
On the
vacant
side.
lot to the side
Yeah.
wasn't that low, you know, where
Mhm.
somebody would
Couldn't
see.
have got away with it.
Could have got away with it. I mean, they
Mhm.
broke in, like, you know, your metal box that you keep all your important papers. We found our papers all strolled up in the vacant lot because they went through stuff. They thought we had money in there, I guess, but we didn't. But they had broken into it. That was a total of 3 times.
Wow.
And so we decided it was time.
You don't feel comfortable. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't
You don't
feel
feel
And he
safe.
didn't want us there by ourselves.
Yeah.
Your daddy, you know, he's like, I can't have y'all here by yourself. So,
Why were we there by ourselves?
I meant us 3 women.
Oh, okay. He didn't ever want to be
Yeah.
at work or something
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah,
Okay.
something happened. And this is when your father decided it was time for him to join the service.
Oh. Oh.
While we were still on 50th Terrace, that's when he decided that.
Oh, wow.
And so he decided we couldn't be there at the house if he was at the service.
Yes.
Mm.
It was time for us to move.
So, this is a question I got. So, did he ask you then to move? Because, okay, you go through basic training and all that stuff.
No. We
So-
haven't got that far.
Okay. Oh, okay.
He
So
called
he
me
just
one day.
enlisted.
He
Okay.
called me one day at work
Mhm.
and told me he had enlisted into the Army.
Mm.
And he was getting ready to go.
And this is a man who said when early on in Vietnam, when
The
y'all first
draft.
got married and it was the draft, he wasn't going, he couldn't go, he had a
Had me
family.
write letters for him and everything. He couldn't. He had to be 4F. He couldn't be 4A. You know, he was not it. So
All
yeah.
right.
Wow.
And all of a sudden he was getting ready to go.
Didn't he? I mean, I remember
And we were still at
his
the house.
brother went to the service, his younger brother, but his older brother, did his older brother ever go either?
No, he did not go.
Okay.
It's a story around that he shot himself in the foot so he wouldn't have to go.
Okay. That's the rumor.
That's the rumor.
That's
That's
the
the
rumor.
His
Okay.
younger brother was in the Air Force.
Okay.
He was in there for a while, but by this time, he had went in Air Force, but then when they sent him off to wherever they go,
Mm-hmm.
he turned around because your grandmother had gotten sick.
Okay.
He told him that he needed to come out so that he could help
Take
with
care
his
of her.
sisters and brothers.
His younger siblings.
siblings.
Okay.
So he came out.
Mm.
His younger brother eventually tried, but he didn't go in at all.
Okay. The youngest brother.
The youngest
Okay.
brother.
All
Okay.
right. All right.
So this was just before we moved out of the house,
Okay.
and
Okay.
he joined the service,
Mm.
and we moved.
Okay.
And we moved to
Holy Temple Homes.
Holy Temple Homes.
Holy Temple Homes.
Now that's where my memory
5022
picks up.
East Traffic Way. Tell me how I remember that. See, you know when you were a little kid
Little bit.
and your mama make you remember
Remember
your address. I know
That's
my
your first address.
That's
you
my
remember.
first address I remember.
Oh. Yeah.
I do. 5022 East Traffic Way.
And
Wow.
I 50th Terrace was 3032 East 50th
See, I don't
Terrace.
remember that one. I don't remember
Wow.
that address.
I'm glad I remember that. That's a long time ago.
I think this is good stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like, this is a really good place to stop. So when we pick back up next time, we'll be heading over to Holy Temple Homes. It sounds like Daddy's about to head to the service and
The Vietnam War is
Winding down. It's
okay.
still in, but it's coming down by this time.
Mhm. And so life is interesting.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you are, please come back again. Check
Yeah.
out more episodes. We'll be continuing on with our story, and it's like we said, it's our story. It's not always pretty, but it's ours.
That's it.
Keep coming back to I Was Just Thinking. We'll see you soon. Bye.